We need everyone to get vaccinated.
I was not taking any medications prior to the vaccine, and I have never had a COVID infection, and I have been tested for proof. In January, my life changed drastically. Immediately after the injection, I felt an odd tingling type dripping sensation in my arm. I had immediate heart palpitations and a feeling as if I was going to pass out. I'm so sorry. And my blood pressure reading was so high that I don't know how I didn't have a stroke. I did eventually stabilize. They monitored me for the 15 minutes and then an extra 30 minutes after. And I did stabilize, so they went on ahead and sent me home. When I got home, I felt a little, woozy, a little dizzy. The next couple of days, I just had a headache and just kind of that feeling of unwell, all of the things that I had signed up for to get the vaccine. But it was 3 days later that my symptoms increased and accelerated. I had a sharp stabbing pain in my scapula area that was just this intermittent, like a knife stabbing pain. I had tingling and numbness throughout my body. It ran down both my arms. I also still had the heart palpitations. I had these internal vibrations.
If we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families, and friends will be able to celebrate Independence Day. That will make this Independence Day something truly special.
I have tremors in my hands, which has made me leery if I'll ever be able to practice as a hygienist again. I am so fearful that I may have some sort of neurological issue after this.
This 4th of July, America's back.
I have swollen lymph nodes, brain fog.
Increasingly, we are seeing people with what's called long-haul symptoms, with shortness of breath, chest pain, fatigue, brain fog that lasts for months beyond their infection. And we've seen this also with people who have had mild to moderate infections, and in some cases even with asymptomatic infection. So if you're someone who's out there thinking, gosh, I'm not really at high risk, if I get sick, it might just be mild, but I won't get seriously ill. What we worry about is that even if you don't get hospitalized, that you may be at risk for long-haul symptoms. We've seen this in young people too. So these are all just more reasons for us to get vaccinated.
Swollen lymph nodes, muscle weakness, unexplained skin rashes. I had convulsions and nighttime seizures.
When I got vaccinated, the first thing on my mind was I can finally see my friends
and go out to dinner.
I have also experienced thick, clotting, heavy menstrual cycles.
We feel more comfortable taking our children out and about.
See my family.
Hugging my grandchildren again.
Hang out together, being fully vaccinated.
I was so afraid that I literally, and I have it with me, I prepared my will and my obituary for my family because I didn't think that I would wake up to the next day.
Being vaccinated means I can walk at my college graduation.
I was able to marry the girl of my dreams.
I'm looking forward to welcoming people back into my business.
The two-shot vaccines, the Pfizer and the Moderna that we have here in the U.S. have been shown to be quite effective if you have both doses. Johnson & Johnson, the single-dose vaccine, is somewhat less effective against this Delta variant. I think that the science is showing that so far. A lot of private doctors are telling their patients who got the J&J one-shot dose, go ahead and get a booster shot. Go get a Pfizer. Go get a Moderna. Is that okay with you? Do you think that that's a good recommendation?
Right now, we have no information to suggest that you need a second shot after J&J, even with the Delta variant.
Going to the movie theaters.
There's nothing that quite beats live music.
Attend a summer baseball game in person.
If a doctor tells you, hey, go get another shot, another booster shot, just to be rather safe than sorry, is there any harm in doing it? Is there any reason not to do that?
Traveling.
Went out into Oregon wine country.
Just got back from a trip to Maine.
Well, it's unstudied. It's unstudied. So what I would say is just as we don't have any data to inform and say we believe that the J&J is actually going to perform well, We don't have a wealth of data to say how well you'll be protected by a second vaccine, what side effects would occur with that vaccine. So if you choose to do that, the one thing I would ask is to enter a study in doing so we can learn more. The one thing I would ask is to enter a study in doing so we can learn more.
We are pro-vaccine and pro-science, which is why we agreed to let Maddie and her 2 older brothers volunteer for the trial. Before Maddie got her final dose of the vaccine, she was a healthy 12-year-old who got straight A's and had lots of friends. She had a life. She was energetic. She was not like this. Upon receiving the second shot, Maddie immediately felt pain at the injection site. And over the next 24 hours, she developed severe abdominal and chest pain. She had painful electrical shocks down her neck and spine that forced her to walk hunched over. She had extreme pain in her fingers and toes. It actually made them turn white, and they were cold whenever you touched them. She had edema. So my husband immediately took her to the ER as instructed by the vaccine trial nurse. The diagnosis stated adverse effect of vaccine initial encounter. Over the next 2.5 months, her abdominal, muscle, and nerve pain became unbearable. She had developed additional symptoms that included gastroparesis, nausea and vomiting, erratic blood pressure and heart rate, memory loss. She mixes up words, brain fog, headaches, dizziness, fainting. She fell and hit her head, and then seizures. She developed verbal and motor tics. She had loss of feeling from the waist down and muscle weakness. Drastic changes in her vision, urinary retention and loss of bladder control, severely irregular and heavy menstrual cycles, and eventually she had to have an NG tube put in to get nutrition.
Increasingly, we are seeing people with what's called long haul symptoms, with shortness of breath, chest pain, fatigue, brain fog that lasts for months beyond their infection. And we've seen this also with people who have had mild to moderate infections, and in some cases even with asymptomatic infection.
We need everyone to get vaccinated.
It's unstudied.